Bam, we're live. I like the way you looked up at the camera. Like, what? Huh? Hey, hi, I'm C Beaver. How are you? Admission of my addiction is the first. Admission of my addiction is the first step to getting healthy. I am addicted to
Hi, Caleb.
reviewing UFC fighters. Cody Durden, what's up, brother?
What's up? How you doing?
Good to see you. It's cool. I've watched so many videos with you in the last couple of days, getting up on my Cody Durden interviews, and I was like, God, I hope the belts are in the background when I interview him too.
Yeah, man, this is my little spot. I don't have a podcast studio, but never know. I might have one in the future.
You're getting there.
Yes,
You're
sir.
the man, dude. I really appreciate you doing this. I've been fortunate. The UFC's got a lot of cool athletes who respond, and I realize that you guys are professional athletes, and that you guys are busy, and that there's like a hierarchy to like the shit you have to do. And I had to stay on you a little bit to get you to come on, and it's worth it. And I'm really excited for your upcoming fight. And I just think you're an all around. The more and more I watch your podcast and your interviews, and I see like what a great family man you are, the more and more I respect you. You're just a good dude.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I get there's got to be 75 to 100 different people asking me for interviews a month, so it's like a bit overwhelming. You can't do them all, so you just pick and choose, and the ones that are more consistent, the ones that really get them.
Yeah, and it's like that. It's funny. It's like that with a lot of the guys. I had C Beaver. Oh, by the way, this is Caleb down here.
What's up, Caleb?
Caleb Cody. Oh yeah, thanks for muting yourself. And his initials are, his first name's Caleb and his last name is Beaver, so I just like calling him C Beaver. Just it touches the little kid in me, like, yeah, C Beaver. You popped up on my radar. I watch the UFC every Saturday. It's my guilty pleasure, but then I've incorporated it into doing my podcast. I'm like, shit, well, if I'm going to watch the UFC, I'm going to interview all the regular people I interview, but I'm also going to interview UFC fighters. I'm going to make my life, like everything tight, right?
Right.
Like everything pushing forward. And I can't waste any time. Everything has to be towards pushing towards the goal, whatever that goal is, to make the podcast better. And one of the topics about my podcast very frequently is I was raised in Berkeley, California, as a tree hugging hippie, and I still have a lot of those components in me. But as things started getting more and more weird, and I saw a country that was willing to use racism, they would use racism to fight racism. And I know in the end of the day, there's the winner's racist. And I was I voted for Hillary and Obama, and I was seeing just all this negative shit about Trump over and over and over. And I started hearing that he was racist towards Mexicans. So I went and looked up everything I could about this guy. I never saw one racist thing he said. He said Mexico's sending over their worst people. I'm like, that's not racist. Then I heard John Oliver say that he's racist because he said Obama was from, I love Obama, but he said Obama was from Kenya or a Muslim, and they're saying that's racist. That's not racist. That is not fucking racist at all.
Right.
And I saw your comment. You're probably fucking tired of talking about it, but I saw your comment. I watched the fight, and you said I sent this guy packing back to China, and I was so disappointed at Daniel that he walked away from you. I was so disappointed in these fighters, because when you think that that's racist, you think that because you're racist. Cody could have said, I send this fucking dude packing back to Miami. I sent this dude fucking packing back to Israel. Oh, you would have thought that was racist because you're sensitive about Chinese, Jews, and black people. I sent this motherfucker packing back to Africa. But if he would have said, I sent this motherfucker packing back to Sweden, it wouldn't be racist. And the reason why you fucking people out there think it's racist is because you are racist against Jews and black people and Chinese people. You're projecting what you think onto Cody Durden. I see it every day. I'm walking down the street the other day on a highway, old highway, and a dude's walking towards me, and the dude crosses the street. And on the other side, there's no sidewalk. It's dangerous as shit, right? I didn't think this motherfucker crossed because I look like Osama bin Laden. I didn't even get, I was concerned about him. Ironically, it was a black guy. And if I would have crossed the street, someone, he could have thought that I was racist. Maybe I am racist, maybe I'm not. But the truth is that's between his head, and he would have to project that onto me. And why would he think that? Because he holds racist ideology in his head. And when I saw that I saw these people calling you out, people I like, John McCarthy. So he outed himself. He's a racist. Bilal Muhammad, racist. Casey O'Neill, racist. Julian Marquez, racist. Jamal Hill, racist. Din Thomas, you outed yourself by thinking what this guy did is racist. You outed yourself as racist. And I saw it and I just lost my mind. I'm like, dude, these people, and that's why I can't be a Democrat anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not a racist. And I got 3 Jew boys. My wife's Jewish. Like I can't do the racist thing. Sorry, go ahead. I know I'm supposed to be interviewing you and I'm just leveraging you to just drive like the truth home.
Yeah, exactly, man. These people don't even know me. They don't know my life. They don't know where I was raised. They don't know where I'm from. All they hear is this country accent that I have and that I adopted from my family. So I'm a hillbilly huck, all this stuff. Well, they don't even
hardly. They should watch some of your interviews. Hardly. You're a gentleman, you're a wise man, and you're a family man. If there were more people like you, we wouldn't have to worry about racism.
Yeah, it's quite funny, a lot of people judge and stuff, and they don't know my backstory. They don't know that, I'm friends with people of all races, so I have a pretty big house, and I rent the basement out, and I rented the basement out to one of my gym teammates for 3 years, and he's Hispanic. And then he moved out about a little over a year ago, and I had another teammate. He needed a hand, and he lived about an hour from the gym, and I was like, man, just move in the basement, and I'll do what I can to help you, because I believe in you, because I see the hard work you put in, hours every day, traveling back and forth, an hour there, hour back, twice a day. I was like, bro, just move in the basement. And he's a black guy. So
let's get a couple of Jews in there, please. My wife's Jewish. Can you get a couple of Jews in there next? You had Hispanic, black. I think you're racist against Jews because you haven't had any Jews in there yet.
Well, hey, my dad's 57 years old. His name's Dr. Felton. You can do your history. Look up Dr. Stephen Felton. He's a Jewish man.
Everyone needs a good Jewish doctor in their life.
He's been in my corner, man, since I turned. I mean, he's the one that gave me $600 and was like, hey, go find a good gym and get started in MMA if that's really what you wanted to do. And he's the one that he's a Jewish guy, and he's the reason why I started fighting.
Check the boxes. You got a gay dude you got a gay dude at the gym? You need one of those?
No,
Caleb's a gay dude. He'll go in your gym.
I don't really.
You don't know, and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, women. Yeah. I mean, I have some gay women friends, but I mean,
what's up with fight? It's interesting. I don't want to go off in that direction yet, because I want to find out about your youth, but I really wanted to drive that home. I completely understand the mechanism of racism. The mechanism of racism, when you call someone else racist, it's because you're afraid we're about to spot that you're racist. Like, I get it. You had to make the leap of him send that guy back to China. You were offended by it. And instead of looking inward and finding out why you were offended, you projected your hatred onto Cody. And it's unacceptable. You people who do that, you are the creators, purveyors of racism. You create it with your offendedness, and then you spread it by telling everyone they should be offended, and you make them feel guilty. And it's not. And the truth is, those people I named, Casey O'Neill, Bilal Muhammad, Julian Marquez, Jamal Hill, Din Thomas, Jeff Molina, Jared Gordon, you're the worst. I still like you even though you are racist. I'm not even mad at you. I get it. Being racist sucks. It's a miserable existence. You have to do shit like be in denial. It's like being in denial that you're gay, or it sucks. It must suck. I feel sorry for you. I really mean that. You should all fucking DM Cody and say you're sorry. And that you will stop spreading racism. You'll look at yourself and fix yourself. I mean that. Peace and love. How old are you, Cody?
I'm 30 years old.
Dang. And you're making a run. Your career's in a good spot, right?
It is. I feel like I haven't I haven't really showed up to the UFC. Since I got in the UFC, man, I've had a lot of back camps. You know, tore my ACL, took a fight up a weight class on 6 day notice, caught COVID weeks before my fight, and now it's all coming together, brother. You're gonna see the best Cody Durden March 19th there is.
What's even funny is this guy that you're fighting, Mohammed Mokayev. Even he got in. This guy lives in Russia.
I think he lives in London or Manchester
Okay.
or across.
Even
Not sure.
even he wanted to throw some stones at you. I am so excited to see this fight. You God, we're not going to avoid any controversial subjects. You got the vaccine to go there.
Right.
Was that hard? Was that hard? Like, what if you would have said no? What if you would have just said, no, I'm not going to do it? I know I heard you say that you did it because you want to make money, because you want to bring put food on your family's plate. But what if you would have said no? What would the UFC do? What would the repercussions be?
Well, at first I was apprehensive, but then I started talking to Mick Maynard, and we negotiated some things, and yeah, I discussed it with my family, and I thought it was best. You know, we got to put food on the table, and we got to continue to grow, and that's what I had to do. So that's what I did.
And did it cause any stress on your parents or your family, or do you feel like you are like morally compromised or anything like that?
No, I mean, we all have our different opinions on whether it's bad for you or it really works or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I just had to do what I had to do, and it was my decision. I wasn't forced to do it, and I did it.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's no better reason to do anything than to help your family.
That's right.
I was actually we say that again. Sorry.
You got to do what you got to do. You're the provider. You're the man of the house, and sometimes you gotta put your feelings aside and do what you got to do to get things done. So that's what I did.
We had a guest on the other day, and I was talking, and we were saying that we didn't think that anyone should be allowed to run for office unless you have kids.
Yeah.
And that hopefully that would change some shit, because having kids, you do selfless stuff, and you probably you value your kids' lives more than you value your own life.
Well, yeah, I mean that should be the code, but not everybody lives by that though. There's a lot of deadbeat dads out there, but I definitely try to lead by and be a great father. My father was to me.
What city are you living in?
I live in Loganville, Georgia.
And where were you born, Cody?
I was born in Covington, Georgia.
And were you athletic as a kid?
Yeah, my dad had me in sports since an early age, football, baseball. I was really, really good at baseball. I hardly ever struck out, but I got in 8th grade and I just didn't grow. And so my dad was like, man, we got to find a new sport, and I got into wrestling. I quit all the other sports and just wrestled year round. And then I started climbing the ladder in the Georgia rankings.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7.5".
And you can't. What in baseball?
About 6 foot standing on my wallet though.
Yeah. Oh, Jay-Z should use. Is that a line from a rap song?
I have no idea.
Oh, that Jay-Z should steal that shit. That's good. What's the average height of a baseball player? Why is 5'7" no good? Can't you be like a shortstop or something, or be a star player at 5'7", or no?
I mean, you can, but if you don't have no weight behind you, no muscle, no thickness, then you got to be able to drive a ball. What MLB players do you know that weigh 145 to 148 pounds? No.
Yeah. Are you still a student of the sport? Do you still watch baseball?
I do. Yeah. One of my good friends is Ryan Kolesko.
And he's a pro. He's in the he's a baseball player.
Ryan Klesko, he was Atlanta Braves first baseman, 1995. He won the World Series. He hit back-to-back home runs. He's the only player to ever do that in the World Series. Yeah.
Three home runs back to back to back.
Yeah, in the series.
Holy shit! Wow. And in 1995, you were 4 years old.
Yeah, I was young.
That's nuts. How do you know this guy?
We share similar attributes. He likes to deer hunt, turkey hunt, fish, and I met him through a friend, and then we just stayed in touch ever since.
Wow, that's awesome. And is he a fan? Is he a fan of MMA?
Yeah, he loves MMA. Yeah, he's actually good friends with Chad Mendez.
Oh shit! Is Chad a Georgia boy?
No, he's I don't know where he's from. Colorado, I think. Ohio.
But he trained in California, right? He was the Uriah Faber guy. Did he train over there in Sacramento?
Yeah, I think so. But he's a deer hunter too. He's an outdoorsman as well.
I've been trying to get him on the show for a long time. Do you remember that fight when he fought Conor McGregor, Chad Menendez? Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I did.
I thought he was going to win that fight.
Yeah, I mean, he dominated the first round, but, he took it on short notice, and Conor had a full camp, and he was ready. And, you saw Mendez get tired, and Conor's got power.
Have you ever gassed out in the ring?
I'd say my first pro main event, I went a little too hard. I wasn't used to the emotions, to the pressure, and I didn't know how to pace myself because I had finished everybody usually in the first round, and I kind of blew my load a little bit.
Is that the fight against Marcus Levister?
No, this fight was Jared Scoggins.
Ah, yes, I see it. Okay. And it went 3 rounds.
Yeah.
The decision. Okay. Yeah, whenever I watch fighting, I always think that's got to be the worst thing that could fucking possibly happen to you in there. One of the fighters says it can get so bad that you see a punch coming and your body won't even lift your hands up to defend yourself. That's how gassed you are. I was like, holy shit, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it can definitely happen.
Yeah, that's nuts. So in 8th grade, you start wrestling. Is there anything that you don't like about it, or do you just take a love to it right away?
Man, I liked it. Going against somebody your weight, there's no excuses, just you and him on the mat. And you can slowly start seeing the progress of these certain techniques that you can do to actually score and control your opponent.
And you wrestled all through high school?
I did, yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you realized, oh shit, I'm pretty tough?
Yeah, man. In high school, I got the Iron Eagle Award. Through middle school and high school, I had like 80 write-ups. I was just a bad kid and always getting in trouble with fighting. I was always smaller than everyone. I went to high school in 9th grade. I was 80 pounds, and
wow.
I used to in for 103 weight class with weights in my pocket just to be able to wrestle. I was so small, and man, I didn't take shit from anyone. Nobody, and I guess that's where I got my fire, my tenacity. Man, I almost fought the biggest guy in the high school. And I remember we were in the weight room and he was just picking on me. And we got into a little scuffle and he was huge and we had to go to the office. And I told him, I was like, man, if I was your size, I'd beat your ass. He looked at me and he started laughing. And when he started laughing, the fire inside of me just wanting to punch him in the mouth. And then fast forward to I'm 28 years old. The same guy hits me up on Facebook. He's like, hey, man, I saw you've been fighting. I want to try it out. I was like, all right, man, come try it out. I sent him the address. And his name's Carl Williams. He just fought in PFL. and he came to the gym that day, and he never left. And me and him get along so well now. You know, he matured, I matured, and we look back and we laugh at that. You know, I say, you remember that time I told you I was going, if I was your size, I was going to beat your ass, and you laughed at me? And we just laugh about it to this day. But you know, we were so young and so immature, and now we're good friends, and I'm glad to see him being successful. You know, he started at a late age, but you know, his willingness to learn, his determination. He shows up. You know, he has to drive 3 hours just to get here sometimes from South Carolina, and he's not scared to fight anyone. 2-0 as a pro, and fought a guy that was 3. And you know, he got his shot in PFL, and he won his fight.
Caleb, can we see him? Carl Williams, PFL. Are you hunting that dude down? Carl. Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How big is he?
Oh,
he's a 205er. He's huge. Wow. 6'3".
He'll tell you. You know, we you know, I was small as could be, but I wasn't afraid of anyone. I wasn't afraid to pick up a weapon either.
Where was that fire from? Did you have a chip on your shoulder? What did you have, like some small guy complex? Did you have like did your dad used to beat you? Like, where does that fire come from where you're just like you're ready to stand up for yourself?
Family, you know, it was just, you know, how I grew up, you know, bad neighborhoods, just people always try to take advantage of me because I was always smaller, you know. So I always just like, you know, I knew I was really good at sports, which was, but you know, my size always hindered me. And you know, once I found wrestling and MMA, I knew I could be good at it, so I stuck to it.
How old are your kids?
My son's 10, and my
go ahead. Sorry.
stepdaughter.
And how old is she?
She's 10 as well.
Oh, and what do you have them doing? What do they do?
My
sports.
Soccer, and my daughter, she's not really into any sports.
So your son's primarily focused on soccer, you said?
Right. He's really focused on soccer, and he's actually pretty good at soccer. So, you know, I don't push him into doing other things that he would like to. Like, I don't push him into wrestling, or he does do jiu-jitsu as well, and he's starting, you know, here recently he's starting to really like jiu-jitsu. So
does he see what you do? Does he know what you do?
oh yeah, absolutely. He goes to practice with me. He's been there from the start, you know.
And does he trip? Like the other day I was at the beach with my kids. I have two 5-year-olds and a 7-year-old. And like they're all, I mean, I'm old. I'm 49, you're only 30, but they're always scared I'm going to get hurt. Like if I get on their skateboard or something, like one of my kids will start crying, "Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt." I'm like, "What?" They must think of me as some crotchety old man.
Actually, you know, I had my first pro UFC fight. My first UFC fight was August 1st, 2020. And I came back, and he was on a ripstick August 5th, I think. And he was on a ripstick going down a hill. Bad idea. He hit a rock, and he snapped his arm above the elbow. So, you know, I see him, and he's crying, he's hysterical. And then I just see the arm literally shifted over, and the bone, you know, and it was the most gruesome thing I've seen, you know, personally. But you know, he's 100% now, and they heal like salamanders.
Yes, it's crazy. I don't know how well salamanders heal, but man, they're like Wolverine kids. Like the finger breaks off and a new one grows.
Exactly.
Sorry to go back to this, the original thing we were talking about. I want to say one more thing too. For those of you podcasters and commentators and journalists who like, "Cody, do you want to take back what you said?" How about you fuck off too? No one you when you say that to him, you're making the presupposition that he did something wrong. You're so full of your fucking self. Like, get over it. You don't even know what the fuck happened. You don't even know how to think. You're a fucking sleeping drone. And I appreciate the fact that you never walked it back, by the way. These people who say sorry, when you say sorry for something that you didn't do, that people think is wrong, but it wasn't wrong, then you're telling the rest of the world to think it's wrong. He didn't say anything wrong. The guy lives in China. They got into a fucking fight and he told him to go back to China. The guy lived in Sydney, Australia. They got in a fight. He told him to go back to Sydney, Australia. Like, anything else you make of it, it's you. It's between your ears.
Exactly.
And I just, these guys, do you want to, and then you don't even tell your opinion. If you're asking Cody to take it back, then I want to hear your opinion. You tell me why you think it's racist. Don't just ask him loaded questions or questions with presuppositions and then not give your take. Why don't you tell Cody to his face, hey, I think you're racist? Let me hear you say it. Because you won't, because you can't explain it.
Nobody's been mad at me or said anything to my face,
No.
Nobody's came up to me and said, hey, Cody, what you said hurt my feelings and this is why.
Well, at least that would be civilized.
At
least that would be civilized.
Doesn't matter. I'll talk to you. I want to hear your opinion. I want, if you come to me face to face, hey, Cody, you hurt my feelings. Let me explain to you why. All right. And so then we have a discussion about it, but no one's done that. It's just the trolls on Twitter who have fake accounts that,
and virtue signaling fighters.
Yeah. I mean, fighters, such as them. Those are real accounts. But I mean, those people, we'll see if they say anything to me when I'm in their vicinity. So
right.
Till then, doesn't matter. I'm still getting paid. I still have a 780 credit score. I still have a huge house. I got a brand new truck outside. I have tons of support. I have endorsement deals. I got it going on, brother.
And you got friends from a wide group of ethnicities and races who support the shit out of you.
Yeah, they know who I am. My coaches are Brazilian. So, I mean.
Did you watch the fight last night?
I did, yeah.
Well, I'm always so impressed by Jorge and Colby. I really like both of them so much. I love just like their work ethic and how they both seem like they came really prepared. I mean, I felt really bad for Masvidal because I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself, but I was also in the same breath happy for Colby. What did you think about the fight?
Man, I knew Colby was a great wrestler. I thought if Colby won, the way he would win would go that route. He would try to smother him, keep him against the cage, and just be relentless with the hands, the up down, and that's exactly what he needed to do to win, and that's what he did. And I'll tell you, Jorge Masvidal is one of the realest guys. I've been staying in the dorms at Coconut Creek the last 3 weeks, and just seeing what he says in his interviews and seeing what I see with my own eyes, it's the truth. He's not exaggerating anything. He's not telling lies. And I respect that out of him. He's a good guy.
I spoke with Alex Caceres earlier today. Do you know who that is? Bruce Leroy. Yeah. And he has a lot of like backyard fighting, the stuff you can find on YouTube. And so does Jorge. Did you ever do any of that?
I did some backyard boxing with my friends, but not like fighting though.
Not where like you go somewhere and there's like 400 dudes in the backyard and like you get into a ring and like if you guys fall out, dudes are pushing you back in and.
Yeah, no, none of that stuff.
That shit looks crazy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, think about how hard your head is and how soft your hands are. One hit to the temple with no gloves on, you're breaking your hand.
Yeah, here's Alex. Yep. I think that's him on the bottom there. He ends up winning this, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Did you what tournament did you win?
He did.
Say that again. Say that again. Sorry.
I said, see, I learned something new today. I know who he is. I've seen his career, but I never knew he did backyard brawling like that.
Dude, crazy. Crazy. He's in the weight class up. What is Alex? Is he 135, Caleb? 145?
Yeah.
I had a great discussion with him too. Speaking of just like being open with people, I brought your situation up to him, and he thinks it's completely ridiculous for anyone to say you were racist too, by the way. But he's a vegan, and like I'm on the totally other end of the spectrum. I'm like jumping on that bandwagon of eating raw meat, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we had a great discussion, and he said some really cool shit to me. And like people should just be able to come together and just talk.
Yeah.
Are
That'll
you
never,
say it again?
that'll never happen though.
And why is that?
I mean, with the internet, with different cultures, different religions, different you know, just everyone has their own path, and the people as a whole aren't going to come together unless there's something like a war, or something like what's going down in Ukraine. Ukraine's being invaded, you know, and they're pretty much helpless. Russia could take over, and right now they're being light on Ukraine. You know, they have so much art. Their military is so far more advanced as far as numbers than Ukraine. Um, so yeah, that's why that's what would happen to get the world to come together.
Isn't it interesting too, that there was this criticism of you, but I'm curious. Now you're fighting a Russian dude, and you're from the United States, and there's all this anti-Russian sentiment. I'm curious how the crowd reacts in London when you jump in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a big following. He's pretty well known in Europe, and you know, when I walk out, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting booed, and I'm the villain now. So
Not in my living room. I'm so excited for the fight.
yeah.
So you do high school, you do wrestling all through high school to your senior year. When does the MMA start to creep in, and when does that creep in?
Well, I had a kid when I was 20, and you know, it took like I had 3 scholarships to go wrestle in college, and then like at the same time, my high school sweetheart was pregnant, and I had to make a decision whether I wanted to go to college or stay home and support my kids. So I ended up staying here, getting a job, working full time at a factory, and I had a buddy of mine that was fighting, and he was just training at this little gym, and it just had weights and mat room, and we'd invite a couple wrestlers, and he was already like 6-1 as an amateur, and I'd go up there, and he used to kick my ass, and I think that's what made me come back so much, because I wanted to win, and I just started fighting from there.
What did you do? Did you train at all between the age of 18 and 20? So you graduate from high school, and your wrestling career's done, and you're about to have a kid, and you get a job. Do you do any training? Do you run? Do you go to the weight room, go to Golds, any of that shit, or it's just a 2-year break?
Well, yeah. Well, from about 18 to about 20, 21, I didn't do shit, man. I just partied.
Yeah.
Well, 18 to 20, I didn't do shit. I just partied and I worked. But then when I found out, my high school sweetheart was pregnant, my mind shifted to the future. Like, what are you going to do to take care of this kid? You have to work. You have to work hard. You know what it takes. And so my mind shifted to just purely work mode. And then sometimes I would go to the gym in the evenings when I got done working or whatever. But it was mostly, provide for the family. And then when I was about, I guess, 21, 22, I had the horrible breakup. And then it was just go to work, and then I'd come home to my apartment, and I just needed to figure out what I wanted to do. And then that's when I, started going to train with my buddy Travis Knight, and I just fell in love with it.
Is it a different kind of toughness? First of all, did you have the toughness that you had growing up, and then was it a different kind of toughness having some guy punch you in the face?
Yeah, I mean, you had to learn how to take hits and give hits, and there'd be a lot of nights I left with a headache because I didn't know how to take a punch, but I just kept coming back for more.
And how do you take a punch? What
Well,
is the rules, the wisdom?
acting, seeing things coming. A regular person, if I were to fake at you, you would react instantly. Just like if somebody bucks at you, when you're coming around a corner, you jump back. And you have to be able to, really see the punches coming. That way you can defend them. And if you can't see punches coming, then you're those are the ones that you need to knockouts. The uppercuts that hit right on the chin that you never see coming are the ones that usually lead to knockouts. So
Yeah, Colby took one on the chin last night that I can't believe. I mean, that guy's pressure is insane. He dropped to a knee and got right back up. I mean, the camera angle was a little close. It looked like he went down and then came back up. Do you remember that shot?
yeah. Well, his head spun. So anytime you get hit, on the tip of the chin and your head spins, um, I don't know the scientific reason, but it definitely dazes and confuses you.
It hits the kill switch.
Yes, the chin, right on the tip of the chin is the kill switch.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And you actually see the guy's jaw will like go like this, and then his head will follow.
Yeah, he's feeling that one today. I promise you.
Yeah, but how about the fight before that with the Dos Anjos?
Yeah, I mean, he was prepared, and the other guy, I trained next to him the last 3 weeks too at American Top Team.
Moicano?
And then he was back in the gym the next week after the fight, but he wasn't in the gym preparing. He wasn't. He would just come in, do a session. But there's a difference in being prepared, going to the gym with a purpose, and just being there and training. And you need time to prepare for a guy like Rafael dos Anjos, former
He's a
champ.
yeah, he's a savage. Did you? The commentators were. I mean, I was uncomfortable with it in my own living room. Everyone's like, they got to stop the fight, and even the commentators were like, hey, they got to stop the fight. But I did like what the what's his name, Mark Goddard or whoever the head ref was. He said as they went into the fifth round, he said to Moicano, hey, you got 30 seconds to pull your shit together.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was man, I thought he refed it exactly how he should have. If he would have after that round, I wouldn't have been mad. But I did like that he gave him a fighting puncher's chance, and it didn't go his way. But man, what a warrior! What a warrior to step up and fight the former champion on what 3, 4, 5 day notice. I mean, there's a big difference in fighting guys on 6 day, 5 day notice that are good fighters, but there's a big difference in fighting guys on 6 day notice that were former champions that could potentially still be in their prime.
What was Rafael doing in the fifth round? Was he starting to feel bad, and just what was going on? What do you think? Because he really slowed down, but it didn't look like he had to.
Well, I mean, I think he just coasted. I think he just coasted through that round. He knew that he had the fight in the bag, and what why take silly chances and take them down and maybe get caught in a guillotine or maybe get caught in an armbar when you can coast. And more than likely, this guy who's fatigued, tired, is not going to knock you out. But Moricano did have a great fifth round, though.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I feel bad for Rafael, because I was like, oh, he's taking it easy on him, and then Moicano fucking got his win back and started drilling him.
yeah, exactly.
So that guy trains at your gym also?
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak English.
A little bit.
He does.
Yeah. A bit.
What's it like training over there?
Man, so first of all, it's in Coconut Creek, Florida, and there's the best the best fighters in the world there. And man, the atmosphere, the fighters is just amazing. You know.
Is that where Kayla Harrison's at?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we had her on the show too. Man, she's special.
Yeah, she's a beast.
And when you go in there, does everyone's game get elevated? Because I guess there's two sides to it. You hear of like there could be too many alphas in one room, and then you also hear that that it's good because then everyone's game gets elevated.
Well, first of all, when you step on that mat and you're at the gym, you should be the student. You shouldn't be the teacher. And if you got to leave your ego outside the gym, maybe you're trying to teach me something. I'm listening. Okay. I'll always listen. Whether I want to retain it and actually use it in my repertoire, then that's up to me. But you can't be disrespectful to coaches that are there doing their job and that actually want to see you do better. And my experience there was great.
Do tensions fly always in the gym when people are fighting? Like, is it common every day that like tensions will get high in the gym, or it's not common? Everyone has great etiquette.
Not really common, For instance, like I go to a new gym, and when you're a UFC fighter, you always got a target on your back, and fighters just, if they're they just want to go with you, be around, you, and a lot of times they want to test themselves. And me, I learned, I had to say no to people. Guys 6'7". No shit. I'm not shitting you. This guy was 6'6", 6'7", but he was skinny as hell. And he's like, and we're sparring. We're doing 5-minute rounds, and then we switch.
So he's 12 inches taller than you.
Yes, he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, let's spar." And I'm just like dumbfounded. I'm like, what is that going to do for me? What is it going to do for you? Why would I want to spar you? Yeah, you're not like huge muscle wise, but I am never going to fight somebody 170 pounds that's 6'6". And it just, that blew my mind that day.
So what did you say to him? No,
I
thank
literally
you?
looked up to the guy and I just had this dumbest look on my face. Like, why would I spar you? He probably didn't mean any harm by it or whatever. Maybe, he just wanted to, see
maybe
how.
Maybe he didn't know how big he was.
Yeah. In some cases, you have guys that are hungry and they're young lions and they want to test yourself against you. And that's when things start getting serious. If I don't know you and I'm in the gym just doing I got to train 6-7 days a week. You know what I mean? I'm not in the gym every day trying to get in a real fist fight, because tomorrow I'm not going to be worth the fuck or I'm going to get hurt. And I remember this time, I was training and this guy was like, "Hey, you want to go?" Like, yeah. So we're sparring and I was getting the best of him on my feet, like a veteran should. And man, he started getting mad and he started swinging hard as hell. And then he don't even have any knee pads on. And then he runs and does a switch knee. I don't know if he went towards my head or my body, but it hit me like right here. And I was so like, I was like instantly like, okay, like this motherfucker's trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? And then he throws like a spinning back fist and his forearm hits me, not even the glove. You're not throwing spinning back fist on. We're just sparring, like I'm not here to fucking kill you, And so, it was only striking. So I picked him up and I slammed him on his head. And he was like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with you? You're trying to fucking hurt somebody. If you want to fight, we can really fight." And then he said, "Hold on, let me take my gloves off." Granted, I'm standing over the top of you, and you're gonna tell me let's take my gloves off. So I took my gloves off, and I was about to smack him one good time, and somebody came up behind me and like lifted me up, this big old joker. And we got in a little scuffle. We talked or whatever. But
Did you ever spar with that dude again?
I ended up apologizing to the guy, because as a pro, I should have I'm not in the gym. I'm not at somebody else's gym trying to cause havoc and
Right.
show my dominance. That's not who I am. I should have just cut it off right there and been like, bro, you're not a good partner for me, and moved on about my business. But instead, when he hit me with that flying knee with no knee pads on and the collarbone, I wanted to hurt him.
Is that the most serious incident you've had in the gym in 10 years?
No, I've had a lot of incidents.
Where those things where it escalates?
Yeah, there's been a lot of incidents, but every gym has them.
Right. How about do they happen more if we were to graph incidents and in relationship to weight during weight cuts? Do they happen more during weight cuts because people are hangry, or have you noticed any correlation between the two?
No, they don't happen more during weight cuts, because when you're weight cutting, that you're usually around just the people that you're around every day. I'm not going to go to another gym and spar and be cutting weight. I'm asking to get hurt,
Yeah.
And usually weight cuts are done with your coach. Maybe we'll hit pads. Maybe we'll go sit in the sauna for a little bit. It's just, you're not going to learn anything new while you're cutting weight and implement it in your game where it comes out without thinking about it in the last week. So there's really no point in doing that.
So you're 20 years old. You graduate from high school. You do a little partying, have fun. You end up having a baby, and when you say you're doing factory work, what kind of factory work?
I was working for a corrugation company.
Those make the things that go under the ground that take water away?
No. So they make boxes, and the boxes get diverted. We make corrugated sheets, and the sheets get diverted into boxes.
Oh shit, I heard that's crazy money because of Amazon. I heard cardboard box business is just insane. Is that what it was, the cardboard box business?
Yeah. So that machine is about 100 yards long, and it's called a corrugator.
A corrugator. And is the dude who owns that company rich as shit?
Well, have you ever heard of Pratt Industries or CSC Atlanta? Pratt Industries is, the leading recycling company in the world.
Hey, did you guys, this is off subject here, it's kind of in the cardboard realm. Did you guys ever have to do non-plastic straws in Georgia?
I don't think so. They have them in Florida, though. I just, when I was down there, they had them down there.
So they enforced this law in California saying you couldn't use plastic straws or something. So everyone switched to paper straws. And there was only one paper straw fucking company in the United States. And that guy, I was reading the story on it, that guy became so filthy rich. But what's crazy about paper straws is they don't work.
They don't work with the damn.
They sell a product that doesn't work. It's like if you bought a car and you drove it home and then it just broke down in your driveway. Like you put it in, you take 2 sips, you look at your friend and you go use it again. The whole damn straw is like collapsed on itself.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the vaccine that Pfizer made $38 billion on that. And then I saw a couple of days ago, the CEO said the first 2 shots don't work very well, if at all. If at all. What?
Yeah, man.
Oh
I'm not too educated on that subject, so I can't put my opinion in on it.
I'm going to send you a link about what the lady from the head of the CDC said this morning. She's fucking nutball. She said that they got their information from CNN. Wait, you got your so it's so ass backwards. It's so ass backwards. Okay, so you're 20 years old, and then you start doing this with, what was his name? Travis Knight. What was the guy's name?
Yeah, Travis Knight.
You start training with Travis Knight. When does the idea pop in your head that, okay, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna put this shit back to use?
I mean, after it was probably like 6 months of training with him, I figured it was time to get my first fight. And me being, the don't give a shit attitude, I took a fight with a guy at 140 pounds, and I only weighed about 136 at the time.
Meaning, so he's a 160-pound guy who dropped down to 140.
He did. Yes. Yes. That was my
And
first fight. And, you know, I think I won the first round, and then I got submitted the third round. Just, you know, he got on top of me, and I could not get this guy off of me. And then it was funny because I walked up to him after that fight. I was like, "Hey, man, how much do you weigh?" He's like, "I'm 159 today." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm 138 pounds." So, yeah.
oh shit, you didn't even weigh in at wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you know what's interesting? That fight of yours right there is not in Sherdog. It's only in Tapology. Is that weird?
Yeah, I mean, sure, dog. There's a lot of fights that I see that I've looked up that Sure Dog doesn't have.
Because they only have you down as having one amateur fight.
Yeah, see, that's not correct at all.
And how many amateur fights did you have?
6.
And you lost your first fight.
Right.
And then what happened in your second fight?
I won via, I don't even know. That was freaking years ago. I won.
And then what? And then when do you decide to go? Is the whole point from when you start fighting that you're going to go pro? Like, do you know, okay, I'm going to use this to make some money?
Not really. You know, I had a good job. I was making 70,000 a year, and you know, I was working my way up in work, and I was working my way up in fighting, and I had to choose, you know, which one I wanted to go down, and I chose fighting because I knew I could always go back to the factory work. The factory's not leaving, and that's what I did.
And how about your wife? Is she happy with that decision too? How does she weigh in on that?
She wasn't happy at the time, but uh, you know, she told me the other day. She said, babe, you make a lot of decisions, and a lot of times I think they're stupid, but I don't think you've made one bad decision yet. Life wise, and you're a pretty smart guy. I was like, I told you, baby, I'm a fucking man.
Are you an analytical guy? Are you pretty analytical, thoughtful?
Yeah, I'm very frugal with my money. I'm
Me
very
too.
I think things through. You know, I usually think about, the future. Uh, to be honest, I didn't have anything planned. My last fight for that interview, it's just some shit that I said that fucking turned out the way it turned out. And, me being me, I was just like, I didn't even think it was, I just meant to send him back to China. I'm
That's
not
because you're not
fucking political.
racist. Yeah, that's because
I'm
you're not
not. He's
racist.
from China. I wanted to send him back home with a loss. I don't fucking look at politics and all this other bullshit that's going on in the world. Like, dude, I like fucking. I like to wake up early as shit. Be the first one at the gym. Do more reps than anyone, and fucking just be myself. And shit, it turned out bad after that.
Are you hyper disciplined?
What do you mean?
Um, you have no issue, like you wake up regardless at 6 a.m. every day. So like last night before I went to bed, sorry, go ahead.
I usually wake up about 7:30 every day.
And is that like, are you regimented? Are you disciplined? Like, do you stay? You don't like you're not tempted to smoke cigarettes. You're not tempted to smoke whiskey. No matter, even if you've got feel a little sick, you'll still go work out. You understand that the kids have to go to bed at 8. Like I'm like crazy disciplined, and
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. And it makes my life great. When I'm not disciplined, my shit sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, I would consider myself hyper disciplined because I like structure, stability, and I like to get shit done. And there's no other way to get shit done than to be consistent, show up on time, punctuality, and yeah, man, stay consistent.
Like but I wasn't always like that. When I was younger, I would feel like obligations to do, like if someone, like I have friends who come to my house and watch the fights, and 10 years ago I would have felt like I had to entertain them.
Yeah,
Now I'm not like that at fucking at all. Hey, come in, the fridge is over there, clean up after yourself. I'm sitting here. This is my chair always. And Like, fuck, I don't know you shit. But I want you
Yes.
here and I love you to death and I'm so glad you came, but you're on your own.
Yes. So when my wife has friends over and stuff, they'll tell you like they don't even give me shit anymore. You know, my wife be like, "You're so rude." You know, we they come over and they want to hang out with us and blah blah, and you go to bed at 10:30. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I trained for 4 hours. What the fuck did they do? You know what I mean? What the fuck did you do? You were at home watching TV. Like I'm tired. You know what I mean? And like I felt like that, you know, she felt that I had to entertain, and I don't feel like I have to entertain anyone. They're people are, I mean, my friends are fine sitting on the couch, you know, watching
Yeah.
TV. You know, they don't need to be oh Cody this, Cody that. Like we're just regular people. Like I'm always the first one to go to bed if we go out or you know, I always have to like I don't like staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, me neither.
Like I like getting to bed early and wake up that way I can get shit accomplished the next day. And that's just how I am. And I used to be, you know, like staying up late, but I just don't have the energy for that shit.
I'll even this is a super common thing for me. Like I have to work out every day, even if it's just 20 minutes. I have to. And I got a really nice gym in my garage, but like it's not uncommon for my whole family to be over at my house and someone's setting the dinner table and I'm like they're like, "Where are you going, Sevan?" I'm like, "Going to work out." And like 10 years ago, because I was raised to be polite and nice. And 10 years ago, I would have felt bad. But now it's like, doesn't matter. Like it's 7:30 at night. I haven't worked out. I've been with the kids all day. You guys are now going to have dinner. I'm going in the garage to sweat my ass off. These things fucking have to get done. Even
Right.
if it's no offense to you. I'm not, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. Don't
Right.
take offense to it. I'm not trying to be rude to you, but my shit got to sweat.
Exactly.
Like you just have this shit you have to do. It's cool that your wife said that to you. Because I always trip on the fact of like, this is just a common theme of the podcast that when you have great people, you have to have a great mate that understands that this person doesn't mean offense by not doing all the formalities that society wants you to do. But like great people don't fuck with that stuff.
Yeah. Do you know how many friends I have and how many kids they have and how many birthday parties that, you know, I've missed? All my friends pretty much know like Cody's not coming to the birthday party. But why didn't Cody come to the birthday party? Well, because you had your birthday party at at noon on a Saturday, and that's when I'm practicing. So, uh, you know, early on in my career when I first turned pro, there was a lot of bitching and like, oh, Cody never comes to this. Like, man, I'm a busy guy, you know, and I put training before everything. For instance, like and there's one time I do regret. There's one time I do regret my wife's birthday dinner. I had a fight the next week, and she was like, "Oh, my family, you know, set up the birthday dinner at Wednesday at 6 o'clock." And I said, "Well, I got a fight next week. I'm gonna be training." And I actually went and trained while they had the birthday dinner. But you know, I do regret that one.
Why? Why do you regret that one?
Well, because you know, I look back and that one practice, you know, I don't think it would have affected anything. When all these years, I do think it affects things if you consistently do it. But if you don't
Right.
consistently do it and you do it that one time, and that was a special moment for her, she don't bring it up, she don't mention it. But like when the Facebook memories come up and shit, and you see it, you're like, you fucking dick.
Oh, you're a good dude, man. Wow. That's some good shit.
Yeah. So
And you think how much more I'm not sure if I agree with you, but I'll agree with you for a second. You think about because she knows how disciplined you are, she knows how much that would have meant that much more to her,
yeah, exactly. And that's
right?
what I it.
That's like the cool thing about being around honest people. Like they're like, "Hey, that outfit doesn't look good on you. Hey, you drive like shit. Hey, you shouldn't fucking eat that food." And then one day they're like, "Damn, you're moving good today." You're like, "Well, shit, that I must be moving good today because that person always tells me the truth
Yeah,
instead of sugarcoats that shit."
exactly.
Yeah, the whole discipline thing. Do you drink at all?
I do, but when I drink, I try not to get drunk. Like during fight camps, I'll have a glass of wine, but 2 glasses max. But I don't drink. I never drink. Like I've had my days back in the day where I drink to get smashed, and I could turn into a different person. And so I had to learn that it's okay to drink. You just have to know how much to drink. So I usually have about 2 drinks and I'm done.
It's crazy for me to think that you're 30 years old. I was just thinking about what I was doing at 30 through my, I just didn't have anything going on that you have going on. It was like, I mean, I was in, yeah, it's just, you have so much responsibility and personal accountability. I think you have two 10-year-olds and you're 30 and I'm 49 and I have 2 5-year-olds and a 7-year-old. I'm in it like a totally, when your kids will be 25.
What you think about that, Beaver? It's pretty funny, ain't it? He got his hands full.
I got a few years left too, so I'm good.
Are you gonna have more kids, you think, Cody?
No, we're not having any more kids. So,
do you think what do you think happens? Do you have a kind of an end game to your career, like that you go into coaching, or that you save enough money so you can just live in a cabin and fish all day, or is there a plan? Because you said you're frugal and I'm frugal too. Like I'd rather have $100 in my pocket and not have to worry about how much gas costs than have a nice car. Like it's more important to me to be able to go to the store and buy avocados and not look at how much they cost and drive a shitty car.
Yeah. Well,
do you have a plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna open a gym up one day, and until when that happens, I'm looking into buying and flipping houses, or getting into the housing market.
Yeah, that's smart. I knew that I was really bad with money, so as soon as I started making shitloads of money, that's all I did. I just bought houses. And anytime I'd get a paycheck, I'd just pay it down towards the mortgage. And I never saved a cent. Yeah. And then when all this shit fucking happened and the whole world fucking went to shit, all the pussies took over for the last 2 years. Like my shit was fine because I had invested in real estate. I'm so fucking lucky. Yeah. I didn't know what to do and I just invested in real estate. So smart.
There you go.
Yeah, so smart.
Let's just hope we don't go back to 2009.
Well, it's funny. My first house I ever bought, and thank God for my wife, because I can't do any of that adult shit. Like I can make money, but I can't like the paperwork or like signing all those papers or like having the guys come out and inspect the house. Like I don't want to do any of that. So in 2011, we had saved a bunch of money and we ended up buying a house, and it was at the bottom of the market. Yeah, and the market skyrocketed. That was our first house. But I think even if you're saying 2009 because everything went to shit, right?
Yeah.
But that would be a good time for then you to buy a house.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be perfect. Yeah. But for you, if you own multiple houses.
Well, the thing is, I just rent them out, and rents are skyrocketing. Here, I'll tell you how frugal I am. My wife and I lived in this 860 square foot home, right? Yeah. And our mortgage was $1,100 a month. But I knew I could rent the house for $4,000 a month. It was in Berkeley, California. So I told and we had tons of money, but I told my wife, this is completely financially irresponsible. We have to move into a shittier house so that someone else can pay us. And we moved out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And like, you can do that when you're young and don't give a fuck. You're like, dude, you can rent my house and now I make $3,000 a month on it instead of it costing me $1,100 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know James Krause?
I don't know him personally. I know about him though. I've seen him coach and he's a good coach.
Yeah, I just like his whole, I mean, I don't know him that well. He's been on the podcast before, but I just like his whole story. Fighter, coach, businessman, investor, just like dad. Like he's just got his shit going on. I just admire that.
Yeah.
You're going to go into this fight. When is the fight? It is, I wrote everything down except for when the fight is. March
19th.
March 19th in London. Are you 100% healthy now? Like, is this?
Yeah.
You?
I'm healthy.
You had the pink eye, you had the broken toe, and you had the knee surgery.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm 100%. There's no excuses this fight camp. There's no COVID. There's no injuries. I'm the best. I'm the best I've ever been.
It's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for letting me just dig around. I know that you're probably exhausted of some of the things we talked about. Thanks for letting me dig around. Thanks for being so real. And it's the best fight on the card. I think it's the most exciting for me personally as a Cody Durden fan. I just love how honest you've been. And I look forward to seeing you fight, man. And we'll be in touch. I'll keep bugging you in your DMs.
All right, y'all have a good day.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.